Hey everybody, it's January 14th, 2021. You may be watching this on the 15th. I'm probably going to put this out later in the day on the 14th. Nonetheless, thank you for being here. Let's talk about the Biden stimulus. He has unveiled the first stimulus package. And let's take a look at it and kind of dissect it a little bit. And let's see if that's going to save the economy. Is the economy going to start booming because of the new plan? Let's take a look here. You know I'm joking, right? Nothing's going to save the economy. The $1.9 trillion relief plan calls for stimulus checks, unemployment support, and more. I'm thinking we're going to see extensions of the rental, the cancel rent situation. Cancel rent situation. Here's what we have: direct payments of $1,400 to most Americans, bringing the total relief to $2,000, including December's $600 payment. Increasing the federal per week unemployment benefit to $400 and extending it through the end of September. You might as well just put UBI in at this point. I mean, are they really going to stop this in September? Is that really what they're saying? Right? You know, when some sort of assistance program gets implemented, it's likely never going to stop. But $400 a week, that would be $1,600 a month boost. And after we analyze this, we're going to show you how the economy is not recovering. And we're going to show you some clues there. Increasing the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. So all of the small businesses that were barely scraping by are going to have bigger trouble at a $15 an hour minimum wage. Of course, the big mega corporations, they can handle paying that just fine. $350 billion in state and local government aid. $100 billion for K through 12 schools and institutions of higher education. $50 billion towards CV19 testing. $20 billion towards a national vaccine program in partnership with states, localities, and tribes. Also, making the child tax credit fully refundable for the year and increasing the credits to $3,000 per child, $3,600 for a child under the age of 6. So let's see. Will this pull the half of the country that's in poverty out of poverty? The 60 to 70% of the people living paycheck to paycheck. Will it pull them out of the paycheck-to-paycheck situation? Absolutely not. There's no talk here about allowing free markets to operate once again. There's no talks here about the Fed stepping back and letting interest rates set themselves. Right? So this is nothing major. This is not a transition or transformation of the economy or the financial system. The monetary system is not changing with this. What we would need is to allow markets to function in a free market capacity. That means if millions of people can't pay their rent, you let prices drop and you don't let people live in their homes for free. And then what's going to happen? Landlords will have to lower their prices. Otherwise, you'll just have millions of vacant homes. It's pretty simple. And then when prices are lowered, then people have much less of a debt burden on their shoulders. The same thing with home prices. You allow homes to get foreclosed, prices come down. Right? The same thing with anything that's in a bubble. The stock market, you do not inflate that with funny money. You let it fall, you let it collapse if it has to. You don't endlessly liquefy the banks and allow banks to lend out unlimited money. Right? You have to tie the banks to whatever they lend out. They have to have in reserves, and it has to be real money. And that means you'd have to go back to real sound money, which is backed by gold and silver or some other precious metal or commodity on a 1-to-1 ratio, not just backed, because some people say that oil is the backing of the US dollar. I'm talking about a convertible 1-to-1 ratio backing, which you cannot do with oil because banks would have to have this in their reserves to be really backing via the monetary system. Right? So there's a lot that would have to be done to actually fix this mess that so many people are again, most of the country's in some sort of debt. Most citizens are in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, living stimulus check to stimulus check, only able to keep a roof over their heads because of the cancel rent programs, the moratoriums on the evictions and the foreclosures. All right, so what is this going to do? Not much at all. It may help people skate by for a few weeks. And a lot of this money that's going to be handed out, $1,600 in unemployment benefits per month, a lot of it's going to go right back into the multinational corporations, the mega corporations that were allowed to stay open, where tens of millions of small businesses were shut down. So that was a nice way to get rid of the competition. If you're a mega corporation, you love the shutdown recession, absolutely. All right, now let's take a look at some numbers that indicate that this economy is still in big trouble. All right, first of all, Fed's Powell says the U.S. economy may return to pre-crisis levels sooner than expected. Wow, isn't that interesting? So we're going to return to pre-crisis levels. Well, even pre-crisis, things were pretty bad. Right? Anyone says that the economy was doing good pre-crisis was not paying attention. It may have been doing good for some people. Again, for people active in the market, people front-running the Fed, people getting into the right assets at the right time. Sure, the economy was doing good, but for the average person that's not an active investor, it was not doing so good. Even before the recession, most people living paycheck to paycheck, most people in debt for life, millions of people under some sort of a handout program, assistance program, in order to give them food and housing. 40 million plus on welfare and food stamps. No, pre-recession or pre-crisis was not good for most people. Okay, so if Powell really believes that we're going to return to pre-crisis levels, then why not raise interest rates? And why even before the crisis and the shutdowns, why even before then did we have to consistently lower interest rates? Right? They tried to raise interest rates a few years ago. Markets started crumbling basically. Right? They cannot raise interest rates, so there's going to be no recovery. Another recent article right here. Powell sees no interest rate hikes on the horizon as long as inflation stays low. All right, well, that's also a lie. Inflation's not staying low when you look at the overall cost of living for Americans. All right, so another headline that just basically contradicts the other headline. On one hand, Powell says the economy is going to recover to pre-crisis levels, but yet we're still not able to raise interest rates. So savers are going to continue to get punished. Money in the bank is going to be worthless. The cost of living and inflation is going to eat up any tiny of a percentage gain you may make by keeping the money in the bank. Right? So people are going to be incentivized to go out and put the money in the markets and bet the money and going into stocks and cryptos and scrape up enough of a down payment for a down payment on a home, while mortgage rates continue to decline. Right, now on that note, there is actually an uptick in mortgage refinancing. So more people using their homes as ATMs. People fear missing out on low mortgage rates because they see rates ticking up a little bit. So people are having FOMO, thinking that low rates are going to be done. Well, little do they know, it seems, that rates may rise a little bit, but they're ultimately going to go back lower. And again, because of this type of system, we cannot raise interest rates. There's too much debt. Higher interest rates would bring this whole thing crashing down. It's a Ponzi scheme. Most of you know that. But hopefully more people will start waking up to this pretty screwy type of financial, monetary, economic system. Thanks for watching this report, everybody. Stay well, stay safe, stay prepared. Bye for now. Peace.